So recently there's been a big trend going on over on Twitter. Well, I say a trend, just a viral kind of clips, which have been coming from one VTuber, which you guys probably know, as we've talked about on this channel quite a bit, being Saruei. Now, yeah, Saruei recently, I think, had a model debut thing where she essentially showcased a lot of her 3D stuff, and it has been absolutely amazing to see. As you can see, there's so much art and so much stuff going on here that I don't even know if I could show this on YouTube, but you know, that's fine. Obviously, yeah, it says a new order, 10th of January, which was about 2 days ago. And yeah, she's been showcasing a lot of the new technology and the new model and stuff that has been going on. And this has blown up massively with this one clip here. This has got 8.8 million views. And you can see she has chair tracking, which is pretty insane. Like,
hello there. Yeah, I'm just fooling around. You want me to spin? Whee!
So yeah, full chair tracking, obviously in 3D, kind of in a 3D setting, right? And it's absolutely insane to see. And obviously Saruei in the comments there saying, "Oh, that's me, bonjour." And many other VTubers as well talking about this, saying, "Would anyone like a tutorial on this?" From Code Miko, Camilla saying, "What in the world? That's so cool." And yeah, many people think this is cool. And as it's, you know, it's got 8.8 million views and 126,000 likes. That is pretty insane, right? And I kind of wanted to go through exactly how this is done and also some other clips and the kind of fan reaction to a lot of this, because it has, you know, shown there has been a ton of advancements made in terms of VTubing and in terms of a lot of stuff. You know, we talked a lot about neurosama and things and how far the AI advancements have gotten for her, but I think it's also important to mention a lot of the tracking and motion kind of advancements that are going on for other VTubers as well, because again, we've got so many different kind of people working on stuff like this. I know obviously Code Miko down there likes to really go into the tech of things and you know, get down to business in terms of, you know, finding new kind of gadgets or whatever that can help you know, improve tracking in general, right? And for example, this person you know, was asking about it, Hazumi, saying, "My reaction to this information in 2 parts," saying, "Does anyone know what trackers she's using? Because holy moly." And obviously they put a link here saying it was powered by Warado and Vicon. Now, Vicon, I don't know how you're supposed to say it, but obviously Warado have also been sharing a lot of the different clips from this, and yeah, obviously been getting on board with the hype for this, because again, apparently this was run on their 3D VTubing software, which is a great promotion. I mean, that one clip there has been a great promotion for not only Saruei, but for Warado and also for Vicon or Vicon. But again, I think it is pretty important to notice here that Vicon or Vicon, again, I'm just going to call them Vicon, they are a kind of, you know, high, what do you call it, high tier kind of motion capture technology place. I'm pretty sure you have to get on a waiting list. This is like Build My System here, visualization tool where you can see stuff. So it does go very into depth, and it is very, very, yeah, as I said, high tier, and it's going to cost a little bit if you guys wanted or were interested in getting anything similar to this. So again, just kind of, you know, pointing that out there, that, you know, I think Saruei has spent a lot of money on being able to get to this point, and obviously it has paid off because the tracking looks absolutely amazing, and it seems like everybody else does agree. Obviously there's been a lot of fan art as well of her on the chair, which I also think is absolutely amazing too, because again, it's just fun, right? This is just something a little bit different in the VTubing space other than drama, right? And I think that, you know, a chair spinning as something as simple as that has really brought everyone together in terms of just like, you know, being like, what in the world? Like, this is so cool. And Code Miko here actually shows off exactly how this is done. So yeah, here it is. Obviously, as I said, she works on a ton of, you know, motion capture and special VTuber stuff with her own channel, right? And this is what she says.
Do you want to know how I do this?
See, she also has it.
I 3D scan the chair.
Then I have a virtual copy.
I put motion trackers on the chair. I test chair.
Whee! I suit myself up. Time for testing. Whee! Using the force up, down, the bottom. Do you want to know?
So yeah, obviously it's cool, right? And it shows you exactly how it works. Obviously there's trackers on the chair itself. You can see the little dots, and it does just track the chair. And obviously it takes a lot of dedication and a lot of time to A, figure out the software and everything behind it, B, figure out what kind of material, like equipment, sorry, that you need to do this, and also you need a space where you can kind of do this, right? Because, you know, if you look at my room, I'm kind of cramped here. I probably would not be able to do this, right? And you would need a big space that is probably more so dedicated to motion tracking to actually really do this. And that's why I think this is something that is a little bit limited to people like Code Miko, also Saruei, and also like people like Fillion too. Fillion also does something similar in terms of 3D model tracking, and they all tend to be pretty insane, right? And I think that it is really cool though that they are essentially making these whole environments built around motion tracking to the point where you can get like all of these objects and things within your kind of 3D world, which I think is actually really cool, right? I think it's really cool, and it's something that you don't really see very often in the VTubing space, and I hope it does become a more common thing, because we're seeing a lot of VTubers now doing like different debuts in terms of they obviously have their 2D debut where they do their live 2D model, and that is the kind of average VTuber debut, right? But we're seeing a lot more VTubers now doing a secondary debut with their 3D model, which I think is cool, right? Because obviously people didn't really like 3D models to begin with due to the fact of like it's just not as good. Obviously, there's some that did make it work really, really well, but I think the quality of it has really come up, and obviously the technology behind motion tracking and everything like that has really, exploded. So it becomes much more accessible. It becomes much more kind of not easier, but much more, I don't know, more detailed, I guess, in terms of, being able to attach stuff to a chair and whatever, to the point where it seems like more and more VTubers are now getting interested in 3D things, even if they do have the most kind of basic 3D setup, because a lot of the time many VTubers just stick with like a like a VR headset type thing, right? They kind of go into VR chat and use that as their 3D debut, which is also like a perfectly fine thing, right? And it just depends on how far you really want to take it. So I do really like this kind of new trend. Well, not new trend, because it's been going on for a little bit now, but I guess I do like more people getting involved in the 3D space, because it can create some very interesting VTubers, right? As I said, these people are all interesting for a reason, because, they have all of these really cool technology, as well as obviously their personality and everything attached to that too. But, as I said, like Fillion, Code Miko, Saruei, they are all very, very popular. Because they could do stuff like, for example, Fillion, whenever she does that dumb like backflip thing or falls on the floor, that is one of the cool things that people like about it, because it feels more realistic, and people just enjoy that kind of content, right? So I think it is a very, very good step going forwards, and yeah, people have been enjoying it. There's some other like highlights and stuff from the
All the way
debut.
here to the back.
You can see the face tracking is also
Nice,
great too.
Oh, I meant. Oh, I was coughing. This is what I look like.
Like, bro, look at that. That expression is crazy.
Oh, I was coughing. This is what I look like. Nothing impressive about it. That's me. Sorry, camera is actually there. Yeah, that's good, huh? Wait, let me do it again. Hey there.
Damn. Like.
Do you come here often? Now you're actually allowed to call me mommy, because
Yeah, again, it's insane. Like, it is insane how much the quality has improved. Not only with stuff like, prop management. You can see there she's like flinging up a knife or whatever. A fake one, by the way. And again, you can see that obviously she's used the same motion tracking technique as the chair to kind of, get a really nice, I guess, like finish in the VR, or not VR, 3D kind of world, which I think is nice. And yeah, really, really cool. And it adds to a lot of the content. And as I said, the expressions are crazy, because that is something that VTubers have been chasing for so long. Also, Lena also put this in, saying she's perfect, which is crazy. But yeah, this is something that VTubers have been kind of chasing for a long time, right? Is, people upgrade their models, and they have been upgrading their models, especially since the boom of VTubers, quite a lot to kind of improve face tracking. That is one of the big things. Many people had rather stiff models during the beginning if they weren't using something like motion tracking, and now obviously Live 2D has gotten more popular. More people have become more talented at doing this kind of rigging and everything like that, and it becomes more expressive, to the point where we got the VTuber models we have today, which look crazy. And as I said, motion tracking has come so far too, to the point where you have like Saruei like this, doing some absolutely insane expressions. Like, I'm saying insane expressions, they're normal expressions, they're normal human expressions, but whenever it comes to like stuff like, you've been in VR chat before, you've seen VR chat, right? There's never really an expression there. Usually it's just kind of like a mouth moving or whatever, and maybe like a close of the eyes, right? But this is like gone even further to the point where you can see the kind of, I guess, micro movements of someone that really makes up a human, right? Because you can have these like major movements, right? Whenever it comes to, you know, speaking or smiling or, you know, being sad or whatever, you can have these like major things with, you know, obviously mouth, eyes, whatever. But it's these kind of like, yeah, micro movements, I would like to call it, that kind of make it all up and show you the character of a person and makes it feel more realistic. So again, I really do like that, and hopefully we see more VTubers doing this in the future. Now that we have, you know, some proof that it does look good and it does work, even if you do have to, you know, put in a bit of money into it and you know, kind of get a lot behind it. But honestly, it'll be really cool to see more people do this in the future. And obviously, yeah, it's great for Saruei too, because Saruei has gained a lot of attention from this. Not that they weren't, you know, very popular before. They're still very, very popular, like 500k, right? But again, this debut has definitely blown up massively, and it's been a huge W for Warada as well, which I think is nice to see too. So yeah, that's essentially all I got for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameSubs, use my code Kaza, get 10% off. Again, they got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all.